Let's start with Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Let's do some Radha jap. Radha, Shri Radha, Radha, Shri Radha, Radha, Shri Radha, Radha, Shri Radha. We are reading Bhagwat Geeta as it is by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of International Society for Krishna Consciousness. We are in chapter 4. We are starting chapter 4, text 1. Chapter 4 is called Transcendental Knowledge. Text 1. The personality of Godhead, Sri Lord Krishna said, I instructed this imperishable science of yoga to the sun god Vivaswan, and Vivaswan instructed it to Manu, the father of mankind, and Manu in turn instructed it to Ikshvaku. Yes. Let's read the purport. Herein we find the history of Bhagavad Gita traced from a remote time when it was delivered to the royal order of all planets, beginning from the sun planet. The kings of all planets are especially meant for the protection of the inhabitants, and therefore the royal order should understand the science of Bhagavad Gita in order to be able to rule the citizens and protect them from material bondage to lust. Human life is meant for cultivation of spiritual knowledge in eternal relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the executive heads of all states and all planets are obliged to impart this lesson to the citizens by education, culture, and devotion. In other words, the executive heads of all states are intended to spread the science of Krishna consciousness so that the people may take advantage of this great science and pursue a successful path utilizing the opportunity of the human form of life. In this millennium, the sun god is known as Vivaswan, Vivaswan, the king of the sun, which is the origin of all planets within the solar system. In the Brahma Samhita, it is stated, Yak Kakshur Esha Savita Sakala Grahanam Raja Samasta Sur Murtir Asyesha Tejaha Yasyagnya Yasyagnya Brahmati Sabhrata Kal Chakro Govindam Adi Purusham Tam Aham Bhajami. It means, let me worship, Lord Brahma said, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Govinda, Krishna, who is the original person and under whose order the sun, which is the king of all planets, is assuming immense power and heat. The sun represents the eye of the Lord and traverses its orbit in obedience to his order. Quotes close. The sun is the king of the planets. So they are saying that all the planets have their own kings. Like we have all the countries and it has its own government. The same way, there are all the planets have their own kings, and all these kings take care of the inhabitants in that. So Manu is the king of humankind. Yes. Vivaswan is the king of sun planet. From sun planet, all other planets originated and they started revolving around the sun. That is how this planet system was built. Now, it is said that there were people who were living on sun planet as well. Yes, they might be having different kind of skin, different kind of way of, you know, but yes, they may not be built of water. Like we have 75% water in our body. They must be not built of water, they must be built of fire. Yeah. So there are so many, these five elements have their own cause and effect, and they keep turning. And these elements were created by God. That God created Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma uh, is telling the God that let me worship you, who has created this sun, who is sun is like a eye of the God. So as per God's order, sun is also rotating. Yeah, you have seen that those horse ka photo, the seven horses photo is there. You know, if you've seen in G Wing, there is a portrait of a photo of seven horses. So they say that these seven horses are the orbit of the sun, and they pull the sun in their direction, in the direction that they run. So sun has seven orbits in which it it moves. So let's read. The sun is the king of the planets, and the sun god at present of the name Vivaswan rules the sun planet, which is controlling all other planets by supplying heat and light. He is rotating under the order of Krishna, and Lord Krishna originally made Vivaswan his first disciple to understand the science of Bhagwat Geeta. The Gita is not therefore a speculative treatise for the insignificant mundane scholar, but is a standard book of knowledge coming down from time immemorial. Yes. So Vivaswan is the king of sun planet, and Vivaswan was the first person to whom Lord told Bhagavad Gita. Yes. So Arjun is not the first person. It was Vivaswan because Vivaswan was made the king of the sun planet when sun planet took birth. Okay, and then he was supposed to protect and take care of the citizens who are living on the sun planet so that he can teach them how to remove themselves from the bondage of lust and live life properly. So that's why Lord Krishna gave this knowledge first to Vivaswan, the king of the sun planet. And from the sun planet originated all other nine planets or other eight planets. And these planets revolve, that's why revolve around the sun because they originated from sun. Okay. In the Mahabharat, Shanti Parva 348.51 to 52, we can trace out the history of the Gita as follows. Let's trace the history of Gita. In quotes, in the beginning of the millennium known as Treta Yuga, this science of relationship with the Supreme was delivered by Vivaswan to Manu. Okay. Manu, being the father of mankind, gave it to his son Maharaja Ikshvaku, the king of this earth planet and forefather of Raghu dynasty, in which Lord Ramchandra appeared. Quotes close. Yes, so Vivaswan gave this knowledge to Manu, who is the king of the earth planet. Yes, and this Manu gave to his son Maharaj Ikshvaku, right, who is the king of the earth planet. So sorry, Manu is the father of mankind. Okay, and he gave he got a son Maharaj Ikshvaku, who is the uh, ruler of Earth planet. Yeah, he is the king of the Earth planet. And in his dynasty, Raghuvansh dynasty, Lord Ram appeared. Correct? Therefore, Bhagavad Gita existed in human society from the time of Maharaj Ikshvaku. So on earth, this Bhagavad Gita came when Maharaj Ikshvaku came, right? At the present moment, we have just passed through 5,000 years of Kali Yuga, which has lasted for 4,32,000 years. Before this, there was Dwapar Yuga, which was 8 lakh years. And before that, there was Treta Yuga, which was 12 lakh years. So, can anyone tell me what are these yuga? How this yuga is understood? You can unmute yourself and tell me if you know if what do you mean by yuga? Why do we call it yuga and why it is only so many years? How it is calculated? You can put it in the chat box. Okay. If nobody knows, I will tell. So yoga is basically a calculation of sun's rotation, sun's revolution. Okay. The sun is revolving, sun is also moving around, and this is sun and these are the planets. Now imagine sun is moving around. Yeah, and all the planets are also moving along with him. But sun also has this orbit. So each orbit has a stop. So when it completes one side of the orbit, it is one yuga. One more side is another yuga. So it is calculated with the amount of orbit that it crosses. And they say there are some 7 orbits that the sun cross. And each orbit is a yuga. Okay. So before there was Dwapar Yuga, 8 lakh years. And before that there was Treta Yuga, which is 12 lakh years. Thus some 2,005,000 years ago, Manu spoke the Bhagavad Gita to his disciple and son Maharaj Ikshvaku, the king of this planet Earth. So this is also given in Rig Veda. Okay, in Rig Veda also if you study Rig Veda, it goes back to 2 million years. Okay, of mankind. The age of the current Manu is calculated to last some, oh my god, I can't even say this, but 305 million years. That is like insane. Okay, 305.3 million years, of which 120.4 million have passed. Okay. So the age of current Manu, means the current mankind, is calculated to last some 305.3 million years, of which 120.4 million years have passed. So balance is yet to pass. So our mankind is going to live for those many years more. Okay. Accepting that before the birth of Manu, the Gita was spoken by the Lord to his disciple, the sun god Vivaswan. A rough estimate is that the Gita was spoken at least 120.4 million years ago. Because 120.4 million years ka to Manu hi hai, right? And in human society, it has been extant for 2 million years. Correct. And it was re-spoken by the Lord again to Arjun about 5,000 years ago. That is the rough. This 5,000 years ago is, I think it is, so Mahabharat was 5 to 6,000 years ago, and Ramayana happened about 14,000 years ago. Okay. That is the rough estimate of the history of Gita according to the Gita itself and according to the version of the speaker Lord Krishna. It was spoken to the sun god Vivashwan because he is also a Kshatriya and is the father of all Kshatriyas who are descendants of the sun god or the Surya Vamsha Kshatriyas. Yes, because Bhagavad Gita is as good as Vedas, being spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, this knowledge is aparushya, means superhuman. Since the Vedic instructions are accepted as they are, without human interpretation, the Gita must therefore be accepted without mundane interpretations. Yes, the mundane wranglers may speculate on the Gita in their own ways, but that is not Bhagavad Gita as it is. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita has to be accepted as it is from the disciplic succession. And it is described herein that Lord spoke to the sun god spoke to his son Manu, and Manu spoke to his son Ikshvaku. Right. So this is our history. Amazing. Let's move to text 2. This supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. But in course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore the science as it is appears to be lost. Yes. Let's read the purport. It is clearly stated that the Gita was especially meant for the saintly kings because they were to execute its purpose in ruling over the citizens. Yes. Certainly, मतलब गीता सिर्फ किंग्स और उनके बच्चों को पढ़ाया जाता था because they were supposed to rule. So Gita showed how to rule the the country, the entire planet. It also showed how to lead your citizens to the right path. So we all need one leader in our life, correct? Certainly, Bhagavad Gita was never meant for the demonic persons who would dissipate its value for no one's benefit and would devise all types of interpretations according to personal whims. Yes. So basically, Gita interpretation was something to do with like many people today also say that सब लोग को अलग समझ में आती है गीता, सब लोग को सेम समझ में नहीं आती, और फिर जो जिसको समझता है वो वैसे उसका आचरण करता है और फिर वो वैसे ही सबको बताता है कि गीता का तो मतलब ये था, उसका तो मतलब ये समझा मैंने. So even in law today, when I study law, there are so many interpretations of one sentence only. Even English also has so many interpretation of one word. Okay. So it is the context and how you understand it. So what Bhagwan is saying that take it as it is. Don't bring your interpretation or don't bring your understanding to others. You understand it and you understand the way it is written and you accept it the way it is written. As soon as the original purpose was scattered by the motives of the unscrupulous commentators, there arose the need to re-establish the disciplic succession. Yes. Because once you misinterpret the Bhagavad Gita, you're going to lose the way of life. People started losing way of life and started becoming more and more unhappy. Yeah. So then again Bhagwan came, he took birth, he showed dharam. ऐसे हमेशा birth ले लेके disciplic succession भी होते गए जहाँ पे उन्होंने और किसी को सिखाया और किसी को सिखाया और ऐसे चलते गया. 5,000 years ago, it was detected by the Lord himself that the disciplic succession was broken, and therefore he declared that the purpose of Gita appeared to be lost. In the same way, at the present moment also, there are so many editions of Gita, especially in English, but almost all of them are not according to authorized disciplic succession. Yes, there are innumerable interpretations rendered by different mundane scholars, but almost all of them do not accept the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, although they may they make a good business on the words of Krishna. ये लिखा है कि तुम बिजनेस बना लेते हो कुछ भी लिख के, लेकिन जो एसेंस है वो नहीं आ रही है, जो रियल बात है उसमें वो बात नहीं लिखी जा रही है. This spirit is demonic. Yes, because demons do not believe in God, but simply enjoy the property of the Supreme. Yes, even demons are made by five material elements, and that those elements are actually created by God. So yes, demons also are God's property, but they act against the God. Since there is a great need of an edition of the Gita in English as it is received by Parampara, that is, disciplic succession system, an attempt is made herewith to fulfill this great want. Bhagwat Gita, accepted as it is a great boon to humanity. But if it is accepted as a treatise of philosophical speculation, it is simply a waste of time. Yeah. Let's move to text 3. That very ancient science of relationship with the Supreme is today told by me to you because you are my devotee as well as my friend and can therefore understand the transcendental mystery of this science. Yes. Let's read the purport. There are two classes of men, namely the devotee and the demon. The Lord selected Arjun as the recipient of this great science owing to his being a devotee of the Lord. But for the demon, it is not possible to understand this great mysterious science. There are a number of editions of this great book of knowledge. Some of them have commentaries by the devotees, and some of them have commentaries by demons. Commentation by the devotees is real, whereas that of demons is useless. Arjun accepts Sri Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and any commentary on Gita following in the footsteps of Arjun is real devotional service to the cause of this great science. The demonic, however, do not accept Lord Krishna as he is. They don't accept Krishna. They don't accept the way Krishna is. They don't accept his spiritual body. They don't accept that Krishna is in person. Yes. Instead, they concoct something about Krishna and mislead general readers from the path of Krishna's instructions. Here is a warning about such misleading paths. One should try to follow the disciplic succession from Arjun and thus be benefited by this great science of Srimad Bhagwat Gita. Yes. Let's move to text 4. Now Arjun is going to tell. Arjun said, the sun god Vivaswan is senior by birth to you. How am I to understand that in the beginning you instructed this science to him? So for Arjun, Krishna is his friend. So he took birth when, so he doesn't understand that, Arey, but sun was there before you took birth. How can I understand that you taught him? Let's read the purport. Arjun is an accepted devotee of the Lord, so how could he not believe Krishna's word? The fact is that Arjun is not inquiring for himself, but for those who do not believe in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or for the demons who do not like the idea that Krishna should be accepted as Supreme Personality of Godhead for Godhead. So there were people who did not accept Krishna as God. Correct? Obviously, because they are seeing him in human form and everything. So they never accepted. There was some category of people who will not accept Krishna as God. They will accept Krishna as a normal human being. For them, only Arjun inquires on this point, as if he were himself not aware of the personality of Godhead or Krishna. As it will be evident from the 10th chapter, Arjun knew perfectly well that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the fountainhead of everything, and the last word in transcendence. Of course, Krishna also appeared as the son of Devaki on this earth. How Krishna remained the same Supreme Personality of Godhead, the eternal original person, is very difficult for an ordinary man to understand. Yes. Therefore, to clarify this point, Arjun put this question before Krishna because Arjun knew very well that there are others who are having divine ears and divine eyes are able to listen to him. And these divine people are also not so evolved as evolved was Arjun. Okay, they had acquired those powers, those divine powers, they had just acquired. Like how Ravan had acquired some divine powers. He could see across the earth. He could actually close his eyes and see everything, what's happening. He could know what is the real truth if he wants to. Okay. But Ravan was still not so evolved because he was going against Dharma, right? So similarly, there were many such people existing during those times who had acquired those divine qualities and they were listening to Krishna. Yes. And not only on earth, but even in the sky, in the heavens, even in the patal. Okay. Therefore, to clarify this point, Arjun put this question before Krishna so that he himself could speak authoritatively. That Krishna is the supreme authority is accepted by the whole world, not only at present, but from time immemorial, and the demons alone reject him. Anyway, since Krishna is the authority accepted by all, Arjun puts this question before him in order that Krishna would describe himself without being depicted by the demons who always try to distort him in a way understandable to the demons and their followers. It is necessary that everyone, for his own interest, know the science of Krishna. Yes. Now we are talking science and spirituality. Believe you me, this is total physics. And in this transcendental knowledge, we are going to understand what is Krishna. Okay, what is God actually. Therefore, when Krishna himself speaks about himself, it is auspicious for all the worlds. You see the words, it's saying for all the worlds, spiritual world and the material world and uh, the world underneath, the Kali, the what do you say, the demon world. To the demons, such explanations by Krishna himself may appear to be strange because the demons always study Krishna from their own standpoint. But those who are devotees heartily welcome the statements of Krishna when they are spoken by Krishna himself. The devotees will always worship such authoritative statements of Krishna because they are always eager to know more and more about him. The atheists who consider Krishna as an ordinary man may in this way come to know that Krishna is a superhuman, that he is Sachidanandan Vigraha, the eternal form of bliss and knowledge, that he is transcendental, and that he is above the domination of the modes of material nature and above the influence of time and space. A devotee of Krishna like Arjun is undoubtedly above any misunderstanding of the transcendental position of Krishna. Of course, Arjun knows it all, but he is asking this question still for the benefit of others. Arjun's putting this question before the Lord is simply an attempt by the devotee to defy the atheistic attitude of persons who consider Krishna to be an ordinary human being, subject to the modes of material nature. Yes, we are all ordinary human beings which are subjected to material modes of nature. Nature's law we cannot deny, right? Let's move to text 5. अच्छा नहीं, ये कल करेंगे. Okay, it's time up. Let's end here with Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Let's do some Radha Jha. Radha, Shri Radha, Radha, Shri Radha, Radha, Shri Radha. Hare Krishna, everyone.